Okay, so we'll continue with our description of the evening chanting. So the last practice we do is refuge and dedication. So these two practices are combined. And I find it, very nice. We usually take refuge at the beginning of our meditation sessions to set the direction that we're taking in our life. But doing it also again at the end of our sessions, for me, reminds me that when I leave the hall and I'm doing my daily life activities, always to have refuge in the mind as much as possible. And so the chanting here, there's, the first line is taking, in the 3 verses, is taking refuge in the Buddha or the Dharma or the Sangha. And then the second line is a dedication line to dedicate the merit of what the previous practice that we've done. It's very interesting to see how the dedication lines correspond with the particular object of refuge that is mentioned in that particular verse. Okay? So the first verse says, I take refuge in the Buddha. Yeah. May all sentient beings understand the great way profoundly and bring forth the Bodhi mind. So the great way here is the Mahayana teachings. So the teachings on, not just the teachings, but may everybody bring forth the bodhicitta that is aspiring for full enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. So, may everybody understand the bodhicitta and the Mahayana path, which includes the 10 paramitas. May they understand all of these profoundly and bring forth the Bodhi mind and generate bodhicitta. Okay? So this is corresponding with taking refuge in the Buddha, because it's the understanding of the Mahayana path and actualizing bodhicitta and the 10 paramitas, which are sometimes spoken of as the 6 paramitas, or 6 far-reaching practices. And it's actualizing all of these, that are going to lead us to Buddhahood. Okay, so do you see how that dedication is corresponding to taking refuge in the Buddha? Okay, and so at that time when you're bowing, you're again visualizing the whole refuge visualization, and you're paying special attention when you're bowing to all of the Buddhas. Okay? Then in the second verse it says, I take refuge in the Dharma. May all sentient beings deeply enter the sutra treasury and have wisdom as vast as the sea. Okay? So, taking refuge in the Dharma and then dedicating your merit so that all sentient beings can deeply enter the sutra treasury. In other words, that everybody may be able to learn what is in the Buddha's sutras, in the tantras, in all the scriptures, and not just seeing the scriptures as the texts, but seeing the scriptures as the meaning. So may everybody learn the meaning of, what the Buddha taught, and have wisdom vast as the sea. So through learning the meaning of all the teachings that the Buddha has given, may all sentient beings know how to practice the path, may they know how to meditate properly, may they know how to progress along the path to develop this wisdom that is vast as the sea, and then to use that wisdom of the emptiness of inherent existence to thoroughly cleanse the mind of all defilements. So again, you see how the wish for sentient beings to deeply enter the sutra treasury and have wisdom as vast as the sea corresponds with taking refuge in the Dharma, because the Dharma we take refuge in is the true paths and the true cessations. Okay? So the true paths are the realizations in our mind, specifically the realization of reality that we can use to cleanse our dukkha and the origin of the dukkha, all the defilements in the mind. And then the true path leads to the true cessations, the emptiness of the mind that has completely eliminated certain levels of defilements. Okay? So by, learning the sutras, developing this wisdom, then actually attaining the Dharma refuge, becoming the Dharma refuge. And then the third one, I take refuge in the Sangha. May all sentient beings form together a great assembly, one and all in harmony. Okay? So this actually, the Sangha that we take refuge in is an individual, whether they're a monastic or not, who has realized emptiness directly. But we often refer to the Sangha as an assembly in a community, because 4 or more fully ordained monastics represent the Sangha jewel. And it's the Sangha jewel that's our object of refuge. But also, it's important having an assembly. It's important having a community. We're not strong enough to go alone. Yeah, so being part of a community, whether we're living in a community or we're part of we have an awareness of being part of the community of worldwide Buddhists, but somehow having that community awareness gives us a lot of support as we're practicing, okay? And so may everybody who's practicing, all sentient beings, and we're dedicating, may all sentient beings be practicing, form together a great assembly, yeah, so at least, if we can't be together physically, at least mentally have this great assembly, knowing that we're all going in the same direction, we're all growing. They always talk about it as, being one tree in a forest of trees. You go straight up like everybody else because there's no place else to grow. You gotta go up, okay? And may we not only form a great assembly, but one and all in harmony. In other words, may we, as one person, may we be peaceful within ourselves, and as all of us together, may we be harmonious together. Yeah. And so the Buddha often spoke of 6 harmonies of the Sangha, harmony in body, in speech, in mind. So we act together, we calm our disputes, we share the same approach, and then harmony in precepts, harmony in views, that we all have the same view, and harmony in our requisites, that we share our requisites together. Yeah. So may we, as a community, share in those 6 harmonies and share with all Buddhists in that way, and all sentient beings, not just limiting it to Buddhists, okay? So do you see how, again, that dedication for living beings to form a great assembly that's in harmony, that's practicing the teachings, corresponds with taking refuge in the Sangha? Okay? So all of these verses that we chant, whether it's the homage to our fundamental teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha, or the praise to Amitabha, or the refuge and dedication verses, all of these are things to meditate on while we are doing the chanting, and while we're doing the bowing. So it's not just, chant, la la, and that's it, but really contemplating the meaning and generating some experience of the meaning through doing the chanting and paying attention to, to what the words are, where the words are directing our minds. Okay? Yeah.
What is the difference between the vision and the mind, the harmony of view and the harmony of mind? Is the view the kind of goal that Buddha will keep in mind, and the harmony of the mind is how we guide our mind personally?
I think harmony in view is more specifically the layout of the path, that we all share the same path. And harmony in mind is all of us practicing together to subdue our judgmental mind, our our defilements and everything like that. Anything else? Okay.